What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Hustlers Kung Fu Live, brought to you by hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. This is what you have to do. The current course, you leave a comment during the after the live stream. I'll give you a 50% off discount. But what I want to get off into today is universal basic income. That's pretty much what we're trying to get to in terms of, I'm going to go ahead and give you my views and my thoughts on this whole thing. Hold on a second. There we go. Here we go. All right. So right now there is a ton of talk and chatter about this $2,000 per month. And, there's talk about free rent. There's talk about all of these government programs to help out the average person. And I'm here to tell you, to be a responsible YouTuber, it ain't going to happen. Do you understand how much it would cost to send everybody checks of $2,000 per month for 6 months? We're talking at 4 to 5 trillion. $4 to $5 trillion. And it is the craziest things that people are not really understanding. Because right now, I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff in terms of universal basic income, the wealth gap, and the economic state of the average American. One of the big problems that is here, because a lot of people are in the comments, hey, this is a good thing. Let's go ahead and do this, and going back to Dr. Tim Troyer, luxuries once tasted become necessities. And if they were to start something as sending $2,000 to most Americans over the age of 16, this would create a nasty, nasty precedent. It would create a lot. It would create, because here's the thing. Let's talk about universal basic income. Universal basic income is to help create equity between those who have and those who don't have. And I see a lot of stuff on the internets about universal basic income. I see a lot of people talking about it, but I don't hear anyone talking about how we're going to pay for this stuff. How is this going to be paid for? And that's a critical thing, because literally to do this program where everyone gets $2,000 over, there's just it's gaining velocity. You've got people who are interested in this and they want to see this, but it's pure fantasy. It is pure fantasy. And one of the reasons you're not going to see it, same way we pay for wars and corporate bailouts. Here's the thing. We haven't paid for those wars and corporate bailouts yet. And also, I'm going to, say something that's not going to be very popular with this whole thing, is you're going to create a precedent with people. Like, this is one of the things that I would expect to happen if we had universal basic income. We would have a large percentage of the population become lazier. Like the stimulus check, $1,200. What happened? Walmart sold out of televisions. There were people who got that stimulus check who bought a television at Walmart that should have put that stimulus check in their savings account and didn't do that. They didn't do that. And there is this urge, because like, here's someone in the comments from rich people like you. I don't know what has happened to the American experience, American spirit, where you want someone to take care of you. Universal basic income means no more debt. Look, it ain't going to happen. I'm trying to tell y'all, it ain't going to happen because the math is ugly. The math is. So let's start here. Everyone wants, you know, there's a certain group of people who want universal basic income. I personally don't care. I don't really need it. I don't care, you know, if it was to happen, which it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And you have so many people on here who want it to happen. So a big part of the universal basic income argument is we have billionaires who have all of this money, and we have a large percentage of the world that has nothing. These folks are literally out. And what basic universal income is supposed to do is even the playing field and get people out of this situation of a state of lack, a state of being in a desperate situation, a state of being pressed. And I'm just like, one part of my issues with this is many of the things that I teach. Be self-reliant. Check out the videos, the 20 rules of success. Be self-reliant. And for someone like me who has learned the game, learned the rules, knows how to win, knows how to make money, it seems like it's like a slap in the face. It's like, yeah, you're out here doing this, you're killing dragons, but we're going to give all these other people money for doing absolutely nothing. That ain't going to work. It's just simply not going to work. A big issue with this is people need to look at reality, because, you know, so many people are looking for somebody to help them, to bail them out. And I'm just sitting here because I see all of these videos. Everybody that's doing the videos talking about the stimulus package. It gets tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of views. And a lot of this shows me the state of where the average American is. Everybody ain't laid off. The 30 or so million people, they're not driving all these YouTube views. This is a wide cross section of America that's driving these views. And we did well with me because I'm a free agent. You know, I freed myself from the matrix. I'm doing what I need to do. And a big part of this is self-reliance and having that compass. But here are many people, because I'm going to get to the comments in a little bit. Here we have many people who are looking for that universal basic income and looking for free rent, because this is another proposal that you're a year. And essentially what they're going to do is create this special fund for landlords. And I just see all of this stuff, and I got a question for you. Since they're thinking all of these extreme measures and these things are being introduced into legislation, they're just being introduced. They're just being brought up. They're being talked about. None of this stuff has been voted on or agreed on in the House, let alone the Senate, let alone signed by Donald. And when you sit back and you calculate how much this would cost, we're looking at 5 to 7 trillion on top of the 2.2 trillion that was just processed and is still in process. People. It ain't gonna happen. You understand that we would be mortgaging the future of our great grandchildren for today. And this is why I feel that these states are going to push forward and open up the economies and get people going back to work, because we can't take another 2 months of this. I mean, the economy would be on life support. It would be in ICU. The economy would be a dead patient. So a big part of this, in a huge, is that people have got to get it in their heads that they got to take care of themselves. Because that free rent thing, that was very telling how many people were like, hey, they're bailing out these corporations. They need to bail out me. But see, let's talk about the bailout of the corporations. The corporations spend millions of dollars to have people called lobbyists talking to Congress. Who do you have? You have nobody. You've spent no money. You have no voice. There's nobody up in Congress talking to Congress on your behalf. Ain't nobody. Nobody. But the whole thing for universal basic income, for me, in my opinion, it just doesn't work. Because I know humans, and we're going to have a bunch of people who are going to be sitting at home. Big Booty Betty going to be getting pregnant all the time because she's going to have Slim Sam sliding up in there. And we're going to have a whole class of people who will not know how to take care of themselves. Have you ever seen an adult that wasn't raised to take care of themselves? I used to date someone that was in that situation who went from crisis to crisis because she never learned how to take care of herself. And because of those low impulse control and all this other stuff that she had going on, I had to cut it. I had to get rid of her, because it's one thing, because this is one of the things that's going to happen. If we were to have universal basic income and we'd have this free rent, you would have people who would want to act like the boss. These people would not know their place. They would not know that they got their hand out. They would be acting as if they done something. Because see, this is one of the reasons that so many parents have a problem with adult children. Adult children want all the benefits of being a free agent, but none of the responsibilities. So mom and dad's paying the rent, mom and dad's putting groceries in there, mom and dad slipping them a few dollars, yet they walking around like they're independent adults. This is what's going to happen if they go ahead and put this thing into play. You're going to have people who are going to be walking around as if they're independent adults when they're being taken care of like children. And they're going to have that attitude. I'm independent. And this is why Slim Sam's dad threw him out, because Slim Sam was laying around, not working, had no job, sneaking Big Booty Betty in at night. His parents just got tired of it. It's like there's something that used to be a large part of this country in terms of taking care of self. And I'm telling you, when you get an adult who cannot take care of themselves, it's really, it's a disgusting situation. And this is one of the things that's going to happen. If we were, because I don't think it's going to happen, because it's going to cost way too much money. The government has a limit, and this is going to cost way too much money. I feel that if this was to happen, you would create two classes, and then you would have the lay down, do nothing class, which we've got a lot of those people right now. Right now, it's some crazy times. And I want you to ask yourself, how many people went and was like, you know what? I got a problem and I need to solve this problem. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to serve my fellow man. Nope. I'm waiting on my stimulus check. I need my stimulus check. Where is my stimulus check? This is the national state of Americans. And this is why, if you are a hustler, if you are a go-getter, if you're a person with some spunk, if you're a person with some backbone, it is so easy to win because these folks are lazy. They're looking for Superman. They're looking for Batman. They're looking for someone to come save them. This is what these people are looking for. They're looking for someone to come save them. Because I'm like, man, I honestly, with the virus, I can't wait till this is over, because what I'm seeing right now is so disgusting. You got all these grown people with the handout. I need free rent. I need a stimulus check. I need $2,000 per month. I mean, for one, it ain't going to happen. I'm here to tell you. I'm going to be one of the few YouTubers that's not going to even Clearview Value Taxes. He did the math. He's like, this ain't going to happen. It's just too much money. It ain't going to happen. And the universal basic income. I mean, right now, all these folks who have no job, right now, they're getting a lot of sympathy. Let this linger on for 3 months. People like, you need to get you a job. Because those who are working, those who are contributing to this system, those who are doing what they need to do, are going to get tired of the folks who are not doing what they need to do. We as a country are very, very anti-sympathetic on certain things. You're going to see all types of crazy stuff happen. You're going to see sheer madness. You're going to see, because, the states are opening up and they're going to try to put people back to work, because we cannot do this for another 2 months. We just can't. And this is why you're going to see the infection rate spike, and people, because we can't, for folks like me, staying at home and social distancing ain't no problem. But if my name was Ed and I drove a bus, or my name was Joe and I had to go out in public to get my money, and I'm sitting at home because of it's killing people, man. It's just killing people. Watching a video with this guy, he made that this argument that if we had a universal basic income, we would have more entrepreneurs, more creative people. And I, once again, I vigorously disagree, because if it's in you to be an entrepreneur, I don't care hell or high water come. You gonna do what you need to do. You ain't gonna sit around and wait for the perfect opportunity. You gonna go out and make opportunity. You're not gonna be sitting around waiting for someone to save you. A.G. Gaston, multimillionaire during Jim Crow, segregation. A.G. Gaston said, I'm gonna get my money. I don't care if people racist. Ain't gonna stop me. A.G. Gaston became a multimillionaire during one of the harshest periods of time for black folks. A.G. Gaston, he bailed Dr. King out of jail. A.G. Gaston, he had that money. So, this whole thing of this universal basic income, a lot of people like, hey, Andrew Yang, he like laughing because he's like, I told y'all. But here have with the universal basic income. Who's going to pay for this? That's the problem. And I have a feeling to get some form of it going, it's going to be the people who are working, producing, creating, going to be paying for the folks who sitting at home, sliding up in big booty bedding, getting her pregnant over and over again. I mean, it is crazy. It is the universal basic income argument. I don't see it working. And this argument that, we have these corporate bailouts and we have these wars. You benefit from war. If you're an American citizen, the things we do, these secret ops, these agencies, wars we do, they're done for American interest. They're done to keep oil prices reasonable. They're done in your best interest. So you get a benefit from this. This whole notion of universal basic income, $2,000 a month. I mean, the whole package is ridiculous. If you're 17 years old and you're dependent, your mom gonna get $2,000, you gonna get $2,000, dad's gonna get $2,000, and you can still apply for unemployment. You would literally have families getting $12,000 a month from the government. That ain't gonna happen, player. That ain't gonna happen. It's just not. Average income in this country, 51% of the people make $33,000 a year. I'm just sitting here and I'm just looking at this and it's crazy. It is crazy. And then this free rent proposal, free rent for a year. This is mortgage in apartments. And then they're going to create this fund. Like, all right, I want you guys to really think about the current stimulus package and the payroll protection plan. How did that go? A lot of people didn't get their check. A lot of business owners got screwed. That was the first stimulus package, which did not go well. There's there dead people getting checks. So I want you to think, well, this is how the first stimulus package went. I want you to think, how would this package, it would be so messed up. It would be so unevenly applied. It would be so crazy. I mean, what will happen is insane. like this whole nation, because like if you watch this channel, and I do some things that pretty much are not in my best interest, because I am trying to avoid making these stimulus videos, because right now the stimulus package is so messed up. There are literally dozens of YouTubers that do stimulus package updates, and they're getting crazy views because the stimulus package is so messed up. The stimulus package is so screwed up that they're actually building their YouTube channels on the stimulus package, because there's so many updates. There's something new every day. And this is just the first one. I want you to think. And this whole free rent, let me go ahead and look this up, because the Minnesota Congress proposal to cancel rents and mortgages during the pandemic is both wildly impractical. This is Alam Omar's bill would enable the feds to seize landlords' properties for trying to collect rent. This right now, and honestly, with all the stuff that's going on, I am so glad that I did not buy those rental properties, because I have a feeling that landlords are about to be screwed in some shape or fashion. And this is like this whole thing, because I've shared with you guys, I was thinking about getting in real estate, and my goal was to pay cash for the asset. And with all of these current rules and regulations, I would have an asset that I would have someone living in, and they don't have to pay me rent. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about how crazy that is. This is where we are headed. We have so many people. I understand if you were working and you were barely getting it, and this thing happened and it knocked you off your axis. I understand you need some help. And I feel that we should help those people. But remember, I told you I had a friend who had a friend who was a nurse. And when all this stuff started rolling out, and when she figured out that she can actually get paid and not working, she went to her doctor. See, that part of America is much larger than you think it is. Are the folks who gonna get over, who are not gonna do what they need to do because it's get over. Like I put Grant Cardone in that group. Grant had no business filing for this stimulus money. None. If his sales have gone up like mine, there was no reason. And I understand laying off the people, because that was a joint venture that he had with Frank Kern, and they went their separate ways. But I mean, I am really deeply, deeply disappointed in America right now, because first of all, very few people prepared. If you've been listening to this channel for a few years and you listened, you took action, you're prepared. Congratulations. You're one of the minority. You're one of the minority. You have a nation of people who want to be taken care of. I'm telling you, because this is going to keep going on. It's such a hot, saucy topic. Proposals: free rent and $2,000 a month stimulus checks. The first round of stimulus checks have been sent, and there's already talk of the next stimulus payment. If you're one of the 80 million Americans who has already received a stimulus check to help alleviate the financial burden of the pandemic, then there may be more financial help on the way. While there's no guarantee of any further stimuluses, members of Congress already proposed relief two legislative bills to put more in your pocket. A $2,000 a month stimulus payment. $2,000 in cash per month, guaranteed for at least 6 months. Cash payments will continue until the employment to the population raises for ages people in 16 is older than 60%. Cash payments would not count as income or impact your ability to qualify for an income-based federal state assistance program, which means you can still get unemployment. One of the reasons that this is so crazy and why so many people are on it is you would be making more money sitting at home doing nothing than you are working a job. Because you get your $2,000 a month stimulus package, then you get your unemployment, which is 4 bills. So you're getting $6,000 a month sitting at home. I mean, the proposal is wildly seductive. Many people want to be part of this. Many people want to get a piece of the pie. And this is just showing you this is not the America that I grew up in. It ain't the America I grew up in. This is metamorphosized into something wildly different and egregious because there is so much opportunity out here. There's so much opportunity out here and people just not wanting to take advantage of it. They don't want to participate in the American economy. And, you will see that these YouTube channels will continue to grow. They will continue, because, hey, guys, they present it like a $2,000. Can you imagine $2,000 a month for you? For you? You get a check. You get a check. You get a check. It's disgusting. It is really disgusting. And I'm not talking to the people who are in deep need. I know there's a segment of the country who's been screwed over, who've been in perpetual poverty. I'm not talking to you folks. I'm talking to folks who could do better, who are in a good position, and they just sitting there. Give me this check. Give me this check. It's disgusting. Whatever happened to being self-reliant and taking care of your situation? Let me get in these comments. Alex T, cash is not trash. I mean, Grant is on a whole different wavelength. He's at a position where he can never be poor again. I've had people argue me, like, yeah, he can be poor again. No, he can't. He has too many assets. He'll never, ever be poor again. He could lose wealth, but he'll never be poor again. And many people don't understand that concept. The Chosen One, I was saying this days ago. I mean, they're on this, man. Randall, it would be a huge issue. Q497, the argument. If you live in the United States of America and as an American citizen, those wars benefit you. You don't get cash in the pocket. But this whole argument, like, hey, someone should just give me some free money, man. Just give me some free money. It ain't gonna work. Mad Max, I am not giving nobody anything. Romero, universal basic income means no more desperate workforce. I'm going to disagree with that. Remember my favorite saying, luxuries once tasted become necessities. When you have someone who isn't raised properly, the older they get, the more that they're unable to take care of themselves. And it's a really nasty situation. See, Ryan Ward, you don't know the game. These executives are spending money for their money for your interest? Is there a legion of we the people who are sending lobbyists to Congress? No, there's not. That's why they're getting the deals they want. Jamie Burst, that's crazy. Yeah, what's going on with oil is crazy right now. Randall, the money's just going to flow back to the rich. People literally gave their checks to Walmart immediately. This is what I'm talking about. I want you to take that Walmart instance and apply that to people getting $2,000 a month. Are we finally a socialist economy? That seems what the people want, man. UBI ain't going to happen. If it happens, it's going to be corporation donate millions to campaign funds. How much money have you donated? How much money have you donated? This whole argument that corporations have done nothing, there is a reason that the corporations are positioned in the position that they're in, and they paid millions of dollars to be there. Folks, you got to buy your politicians. If you ain't buying, they for sale. There could be something called the American Coalition of Citizens where everybody, let's see, if you took, let me give you 50 million people times $10 a month. It's $500 million. But see, the whole part is the people who put it together, it's like, well, he getting paid too much to do this and all this other stuff. James Burst, I agree 100%. What happened to this urge to take care of yourself? Stephen Arzer, what would happen if they were given $2,000 a month? People would go out and buy Yeezys. They would buy computers. They would buy flat screens. They would buy all, because see, there's this thing called a thirst. And if you're a person in an economic state of lack, where you don't have the things you want, there's this thirst. There's all these things that you want. And I did it. When I started making money, I started quenching my thirst. I went out and got that brand new BMW. I took a lot of trips. I was eating out fancy. You've got this thirst. And this is once the thing is, once you get some money and you continue to make money for a long time, the thirst just disappears. It's just like, this is why you can stack money in the bank, because you have quenched that thirst. But there's so many thirsty people out there, man. They will go crazy for 6 months with that money. Jesus, just me, but people giving $1,000 a month, it gives them an opportunity to become self-sufficient by being able to start a business with the UBI. I'm going to disagree with you. You know how I'm going to disagree with you? For 6 months, I gave away my courses to help people, and 95% of the people did not take advantage. So you just start giving people money, they ain't going to do the right thing with it. There are many people with these lofty ambitions. I live in the state of where people really are. I live in that situation where people live and how they operate. And Ben the bartender, it would be interesting. Remember, hustlers will be hustle and lazies would be lazy no matter what. Pretty much. So this is why I don't believe that this $2,000 given to people is going to stem all of this creativity. Because the thing is, if you avoid the American credit indoctrination system and don't load your life up with debt and don't have a whole bunch of bills, what's wrong with your life? And a lot of people can't do that. Hey, Paul, that's what I said. I figured we were going to add another 10 trillion to the stimulus. Process for profits. I remember when I couldn't hire the cleaners in Florida for 20 an hour. All of Florida probably want the UBI. Oh, absolutely. Jesse Sanders, this whole community thing. The people must want to participate in keeping up the community. If the people don't participate, it's not going to happen. Q4, what's amazing to me is when we bail out corporation, no one says anything about socialism or handouts. I don't know where you've been. Every time there's been corporate bailouts, a lot of people have said some stuff. I, for one, said something about Grant Cardone, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse getting this money. I felt it was wrong. I said something. I don't. You weren't paying attention. Hey, Bull, Trump is forcing Americans to become self-reliant. I don't know about that. Kenny, businesses seeking the bailout after a month shut down. I talked about that. Process for profits. Everybody that took forbearance took hits, credit hits. I thought that wasn't supposed to impact your credit. Jesse Sanders, 50 million small businesses can hire a lot of lobbyists, but corporations build teams and they build processes and systems to get this done. The average person is so scared of someone getting rich off their little funky little $10 a month, they ain't gonna do it. But they'll go get that $1,200 television from Walmart. They'll do that real quick, like, yeah, baby. Jesus, most people will not invest. Most people are not. All right, here's the thing, and this is why you need to get the money management course. How you're currently treating your income, money that comes in. If you get more of it, you're going to treat it the same way. This is statistical fact. You get more money. This is why people who make $30,000 and $40,000 a year, who win the lottery and get $5 and $10 million, are broke in 5 years. Why? Because they treat the money the same way. So before we get into, if the stimulus package required you to take a class and you had to show some receipts, then okay, yeah, that's going to have a lot more traction than just you get a check, here's free money for you, here's free money for you, free money for you. People are not going to do the right thing because they're already abusing the money they have coming in. Dante, Hunger Games, really? Mass divorce and breaks up will definitely be a result. I don't know about that. Process for profits. Yeah, everybody wants to be a business owner until it comes time to pay taxes. Q4 corporations are paying congressmen, lobbyists, and start making $4 million a year. These corporations are doing something. They ain't like sitting around like, oh, no. These corporations have dedicated, paid lobbyist organizations to argue for their interest. The American people, no, we don't have that. Tomcat, I blame the situation on Destiny's Child. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? Can you pay my Woo, man. LJ did the podcast. Yeah, the 2000, it ain't gonna happen, but it sounds so sexy. Raw note, that's interesting. Good feeling now, UBL would just make people more lazy. That's my point. Because the go-getters are out there go-getting right now. They ain't sitting back. The thought of daddy government blessing the poor with a 2K check will keep the masses at bay, pretty much. Chosen one, I'm all right. Let's look at this. Let's go ahead and take it from the American credit indoctrination system. It is so bad that if you put a post on Facebook, would you rather have $100,000 or an 800 credit score? People are addicted to credit. They're addicted to using other people's money. That many people was like, nah, give me the 800 credit score. Yet these folks are uninformed that there's something that's called an exposure limit. And if you don't have the income, even if you have an 850, what you can get will tap out very soon. Like I look on YouTube, all these people, it's like, I got a $20,000 credit card from Navy Federal. I got all of this. And, these generous credit limits. But the thing is, as someone who's had a $50,000 credit card bill, I used one of my credit cards up to $50,000. That's a large check to write. That right there, that you'd be like, $50,000 just came out of my account, just like that. People are not used to doing cash. Mayweather Group history has nothing to do with New America. No, it does not. Vladimir, this is a very popular, seductive topic. The payroll protection program did not go well at all. Ash, if UBE happens and the folks are making this is what happened with college tuition. Once the government made these government loans easy for anyone to get, college tuition skyrocketed. James Jones, it ain't free money. Someone got to pay for it. I bet they look for people that are sacrificing, working hard. Pretty much. This is what's going to happen. If we ever get any form of UBI, it's going to be the people who are working. It's going to be the producers and the creators who are going to be giving these folks who are just sitting at home collecting a check. I want to go back and revisit your son. You married to your wife, Sally. You got your son named Bill. Bill is laying up in the house, eating up food, playing video games. He ain't working. He ain't even looking for a job. At some point, that gets on your nerves where you throw out your son. Bill, you got to go. You ain't doing nothing. Me and your mom, we're tired of supporting you. America's Bill right now. America wants to be Bill. They ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Goddess, no, comfort and stability do not foster creativity or ingenuity. There has to be an antagonist. You have to struggle against something to bring forth your greatness. I agree, because when I was in that boarding house, I had some of my best ideals. I came up with some of my best situations. I came up with some of, because the pain was so great. And this is one of the things that many Americans are trying to run from, feeling that pain, because the pain is about to come. Good Lord. Persona non grata. See, that's why me and my family operate with cash only since 2008. That's a good habit. Thank you, Izzy. Adaptation, but a lot of congressmen are landlords. I got a feeling they aren't going to screw themselves. It just depends. You got a lot of people who are not landlords. I know, Raw. I mean, but this is what the people want. It's very seductive. James Jones, when you have the majority of America that receive more back in taxes than they pay, you can expect politicians to do whatever they can to appeal to that. I mean, this is stuff that's coming from the Democratic Party. All of this, the $2,000 per month to free rent, this is coming from the Democratic Party. Some folks will get 12,000. Like I said, the whole rollout of this program was really poorly executed. Erica P, I still hadn't got my stimulus check. The expat home, this, because right now we're going through this phase. We're going through this wave of people who are not I mean, it's crazy right now. We're going through this phase where people are realizing just how poor they are. BK from Rockets, people aren't self-reliant anymore because group projects in schools have taken that ability away from folks. Folks barely try to do things alone nowadays because they immediately want help. I kind of see a lot of that. Kershawn Simmons, yeah, they're going to delay retirement. Nobody's retiring during this mess. Thomas Dickerson, UBIC means a ragged workforce. Money will still flow to the ones who know how to keep it. I know, Robert. I know. Terrell Braithwaite, I knew this was going to happen. When you look at the numbers, we're at a point where we can't stay closed. The economic carnage is too much. Even though opening up the states is going to raise infection rates, it's going to cause the hospitals to be overwhelmed. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, we're at that point. So not to, give Trump credit, but he's in an impossible situation. I mean, any president would be in a really impossible situation right now. Mark, UBA failed in Canada and Finland as a trial run. It failed to put people back to work to get back on their feet, if you will. I just don't see it working out. Read The Richest Man in Babylon, giving everyone money, pretty much. Robert Burns, the first 1,200 stem check people spend on bullshit. Imagine if you throw 2 good months at the same people, how they would blow that cheddar. Pretty much. I'm telling you what's going to happen. Didn't I say before this thing even started, when they started putting the moratoriums on evictions, that there were people who had the ability to pay, but because they knew they weren't going to get kicked, What you mean I don't pay my rent? They can't kick me out. I don't pay my utilities. They ain't gonna turn them off. We done came up. I'm telling you. Leah, that I got an uncle who's about 50 years old, still live with my grandma, been so his whole life is my worst fear. Woo. When you get people who can't take care of themselves, I mean, there has to be something in you that is pulling you forward to take care of yourself. I know a chick who's 55 years old who's never left home. Yes, our society has become feminized. Being self-reliant is a masculine trait, and unfortunately, most of society has to skews toward the way of thinking. You know, it's funny. I had someone comment on because right now I'm running Facebook ads for Savage Finance page. I got like 2,500 likes in 3 days, and I had this fool. Well, I'm just going to ignore this Savage Finance. This fool knows nothing about marketing or building an online business, and then this fool claimed to be a millionaire. I go to his Facebook page. There ain't no way this dude's a millionaire. Ain't no way. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, dude. And I hit him back. I was like, you can Google me and find stuff. You're just saying stuff on the internet. This is one of the things, and this is to ES's point of feminine men. Only a feminine man is going to be offended by Savage Finance. I think it's Savage Finance is fancy. I think it's kind of fire. And I'm going with it because I got all kind of plans for it. Jeremy, sad to say, a lot of restaurants are going out of business. Common people just now learned about networking. Corporations have been networking. People now being put on the game. It's a little late, Kevin, but I'm telling you, people saying these corporations are doing nothing. These corporations are spending millions of dollars on lobbyists. Raw note, learning and being self-reliant is a forgotten trait. I'm trying to resurrect it. Kevin Davis, this is why I said that they need to have a program before you get the stimulus money. You must go into a class and you must provide receipts for the first 3 months to get the stimulus money. And that would cut out a lot of the BS. Izzy, laws are being passed on the needs of the wealthy, those who support the lawmakers with money. That's what I'm saying by the politicians. Jared, I'm never doing that ever again. That was one of the worst decisions I ever made. Ricardo Roper, you can disagree with me all you want to. That's your opinion. But I'm looking at the state of America right now. I'm looking at how many people are looking at these stimulus check videos. I'm looking at how many people are getting over. I vigorously disagree because the self-reliant people are already self-reliant. You're not going to make someone self-reliant by giving them money. It's just not. It's not going to create more business owners. It's just not. Good Lord. Well, what's happening with YouTube is everyone's at home. YouTube has experienced higher traffic than it's ever experienced before. This is the highest traffic YouTube's ever happened. Mr. Big, universal income would be insanely expensive, pretty much. Who knows, Kevin? Tracy Stevens, I got an email from my job this morning saying we weren't going to reopen until mid-June. The states opening up, you're still going to have businesses that are not. I'm just going to tell you, this thing is going to drag on, people. It's going to be slow and painful. Profit process for profits. Yeah, because I fully expect when these forbearance end, there's going to be a lot of property hitting the market. James Bruce, I'm not shocked. Nah, it ain't me. It's YouTube. It ain't me. Mark, it's also a lot of oversight to hold people accountable, completely understand. Yeah, because the thing is, if they were to do basic income, they would have to send people to a class and have tests on money management. Because they're just like, here's free money. Many people will abuse the money. What new mail group? I've been so focused on this that I haven't really done anything with disruptive mail. Mr. Big, this is why I created Savage Finance, because America doesn't manage its money. That whole, I know tons of people blowing their stimulus check. I even know a very small business owner who got the 10K loan to spend it on a truck instead of more equipment, which he needs. He wanted that truck. Then they going for the flat screen. Is he? I mean, this is one of the things, because one of the things YouTube is doing is putting out lower resolution. I know raw note is crazy. Rob, pay cash for your real estate. It's going to be very cheap in the near future. Mr. Big, 1,200 per month you buy keeps you in poverty. Look at the majority of welfare and Section 8 receivers. They remain poor. You know what gets people more motivated? No safety net, self ownership. That's what did it for me. Superstar Customs, the minimum payment on that 50K. Yeah, it was like 1,800 a month or something like that. Pretty much. Mr. Big, I agree 100%. Caravan, you got to ride the wave, man, because if you've got property where tenants are paying your income, that could get a little dicey. Rodriguez, yeah, this would be definitely borrowing from the future. Pretty much, David. Pretty much. Because one of the reasons I did this stream was that, because this is going to keep going on. Because this is what people want. People want the 2000. They want to believe that it's going to happen. They just. I have a friend who said the best period in his life was when he was unemployed and he was getting unemployment. There's this notion there. I mean, part of this is YouTube and Instagram, where you see these successful YouTubers and Instagram people who literally lay around and do whatever they want to do. That's what America wants. I mean, it is wild what is going to happen. It is really, really wild. But that's all I got today. I just had to get that off my chest. It ain't gonna happen, people. It ain't gonna happen.